Let's go. Let's talk a little college football. Let's talk Mount Union. Let's talk playoffs. Let's talk to the boss. Head coach Geoff Dartt of the University of Mount Union Purple Raiders joining us here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Coach Geoff, good afternoon. Happy Thursday.
Good afternoon. Happy Thursday.
Hope
you had a good Thanksgiving.
You know what? I almost wished you a happy Thanksgiving, and I forgot that was a week ago. But I hope you had a good one. And here we
go. My daughter was wondering if we were going to do it on Thanksgiving. She wanted to do it.
No kidding.
Yeah, she's locked in.
Yeah, we were not in the building on Thursday and Friday, and I thought, well, you know what I thought about doing, Coach? I thought about reaching out to Nate to see if maybe you wanted to come on Wednesday, the day before. I thought, I don't know. The older I get, the more superstitious I get. I didn't want to do anything. So I said, just forget it. We'll let it go. We'll get the dub on Saturday, and we'll come back here, and here we are. We appreciate you coming on and getting ready to go. Hey, Muhlenberg, business as usual. You guys played really, really well. It may have been the fastest college football game I had ever broadcast. It was 2 hours and 19 minutes.
Yeah.
What did you think of Saturday afternoon and your team's effort?
Yeah, we actually were just talking about that the other day, how quick it was. But no, I thought great week of prep. Got out to a fast start. And yeah, the guys, we executed well and, against a really good football team. So excited to have the opportunity this weekend.
And it looked like it was good to see number 25 back there in the backfield getting the rock a little bit for you. It seemed as though through the game that the guys that were maybe bumped and bruised were feeling a little bit better, and we're ready to make that big charge now, aren't we?
Yeah, for sure. Got some guys that, bumps and bruises are healed, and, they're ready to go.
All right, so here we go. Saturday, an old friend comes to town, 12 noon, John Carroll and Mount Union. You guys get together and resume what has just been a really good series. I know it's been lopsided, 40 wins, 3 losses, and 2 ties in favor of the Purple Raiders, but it's always it's a great atmosphere. It's high-charged. It's energy. Everybody's ready to go. How's the team doing mentally, physically, as they get ready to approach a big one here on Saturday?
Yeah, really good. Mentally, we've been locked in at practices this week, and obviously we're, aware of who John Carroll is, and, that record really doesn't mean anything, right? Mm-hmm. They have a really good football team. They're well coached in all 3 phases, and they definitely have our attention, and, we've been focused at practice and got to finish another one today here in about 20 minutes.
With Carroll, spending so many years in the OAC, and you guys get to play them every year, and you got to scout each other, and there was a ton of film and everything. When they jumped to the NCAC, I don't know, like, D3 football across the landscape of America, like, okay, what's this conference compared to this conference here, Northwest, East, South? NCAC, compare that to the OAC in some way, if you could, to maybe familiarize me and a lot of the listeners with what John Carroll was going through now this past year, as opposed to the many decades before they moved on.
Yeah, I can't really talk to their conference necessarily. I mean, I can only talk to the OAC. I know that they've had, DePaul is still in the playoffs right now. I think Wabash beat Ohio Northern in a bowl game after the season. So, yeah, they have some really good teams and coaches in that conference, just like any Division III football conference.
Have you noticed the practices a little bit more spirited this week, or is everybody kind of keeping that same even keel that you've tried to keep all year?
Yeah, we're always focused on our next opportunity. The guys are aware that we're playing John Carroll, and that has been a great rivalry over the years, and I'm sure it'll be a pretty good environment this weekend, and kind of jealous I'm not playing in it. So.
Yeah, right. I know it's going to be.
Yeah.
If I see you go 5 or 6 steps out there with a helmet on, I'm going to wonder what's going on down there. Because
That's about all I could do. Yeah.
I do think it's going to be high charged on Saturday. I'm hoping the place is packed. I think it will be. I think it's going to be a great atmosphere for Division III college football. I encourage everybody in the area, if you can, if you got the means, the wherewithal, and the time, to come on over to Cara Stadium, get your purple on Saturday, and check out the Raiders and the Blue Streaks at 12 noon. These games are fun. I know they're a little nerve-wracking, but preparation-wise, I know you guys are all locked in. And what is it usually like the day of a third-round playoff game for you, whether it's at home or on the road, when you get up that day, knowing you get the noon kickoff and you're getting closer and closer to where you want to go?
Yeah. Obviously the noon kickoff is, an hour and a half earlier than when we normally kick off. So breakfast, a little bit earlier, but, we want to stay in our routine as much as possible. Obviously, we enjoy the home games, being able to play here in Cara Stadium. But, I think it's, we got to handle it like it's the next opportunity, just like always. So, they got to be focused in what they're doing and, pregame warm-ups and all of that. So we're ready to roll come kickoff time.
Head coach Geoff Dartt, University of Mount Union Purple Raider head football coach, joining us here on the Sam Bourquin Show. 1310 WDPN. We'll be there Saturday. Mount John Carroll kick at 12:02 p.m. here, and also on Q92radiosports.com. I mentioned Sean Thomas when we started the interview today. What were your thoughts on his performance, and did he seem to be kicking a little bit of the rust off, and how was he feeling afterwards?
Yeah, I thought he played really, really well. Ran the ball well. Had a touchdown, later in the game, and did a great job in pass protection. So it's kind of one of those guys, you feel him when he's out there, and offensive line, loves blocking for him and the other running backs. But yeah, it was great to see him back out there.
Mikey Maloney had a great day with his arm. He had a great day with his legs. It seems like he is so locked in, and it's got to be fun to watch him get better every snap, every practice, every game, right?
Yeah, a ton of poise. Wants it all the time. How can he be better? And he's all about his teammates. So that's why the guys love him so much, and we love him too.
I mean, is it every once in a while, Coach, do you say, gosh, how old is this kid? I mean, is he really a redshirt freshman? I mean, you could really sit back and dream big things talking about his future, but he is something, isn't he?
Yeah, no, he really is. And I think I mentioned this before, maybe a few times on here, but just his, progression from, last year to this year. Mm-hmm. And it's only, due in large part to, his work ethic that he has, investing in himself. And then, him and Coach Collins, our offensive coordinator, they have a great relationship. And obviously, you can see the success that we're having has a lot to do with that.
I also thought it was pretty cool. Number 2 got involved a little bit on Saturday. Talk about the play of Nick Turner and what he's meant here for you.
Yeah, he, was an outside receiver last year for us. We moved him inside with, Jacob and Davion on the outside, and he just continues to produce, right? He's another guy, just puts his head down and works. When we do scouting report, him and I sit next to each other every Monday evening, and, he's writing all the notes about everything that Coach Collins is up there presenting. And obviously we're seeing the results of that.
Head coach Geoff Dartt, University of Mount Union, our guest, 1310 WDPN. Coach, D3, NCAA Division III college football is very good football. There is a ton of talent. There's great coaching. There are some great atmospheres. Yeah. What do you feel sometimes, maybe just for Joe football fan, that they're maybe missing the boat on how good D3 is and why they maybe should, come check out a football game, a basketball game, a volleyball game, something like that?
Yeah, I think if you love football, basketball, volleyball, why would you not want to go watch a game, right? And I think it might change, the your point of view in terms of, what you're seeing, and you see the hard work of the players and the coaches. And then, there's a lot of talent out there. So I just don't understand why some people give it a bad rap or anything like that. But I know that, we have good players that work really hard, and so do other teams across all the sports here at Mount Union.
And I think you hit it. It's the talent. We see the big, we see the big boys on Saturday nights on ABC, the Big Ten, the Pac-12, whatever. But there's NAIA. I think there's still a few schools around, and then you got D2, then you got D3, then you got Division I. And sometimes I would hear over the last several decades, whether I was working a game, if I was just talking to people at a game, they would talk about, well, it's not Division I. Look, do you know how good you have to be the best at Division III or the best at Division II? I know there have been some rude awakenings for kids that have come out of high school thinking, this isn't going to be that tough. Yeah. And they are very quickly reminded that it is. Could you just maybe speak on the talent across the board at the D3 level and how good it really is?
Yeah, I think we've all maybe seen the percentages of like the men and women that choose to go play college sports. The percentage is very, very low, right? And I just think it's, due in large part to the time commitment, the grind that you need to do. But yeah, I think it's about, how much do you want it? How much do you want to be coached and developed? And then, yeah, obviously in any sort of recruiting, which is the lifeblood of any program, athletic team that you're dealing with, it's acquiring talent, right? And then, getting them coached up in terms of what you want them to do for your program. So yeah, there's a ton of talent here. And, I took Kendall and JJ to the basketball game the other night against Worcester. And okay. that was a great college basketball game. They had some really good players, and we have some really good players on the basketball team here at Mount Union.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And I think if you get that balance of talent, and let's be honest, at Division III, you have to love it. You have to love it. Immerse yourself in it. And when you get that combination, it's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome to watch. Coach, real quick before you head out to the practice field, I know you're bundled up and ready to rock. Let's hit that 3-question Thursday quiz. You ready?
Excellent. Yeah.
Here we go. I don't know how much NBA you watch, but this is part of the quiz today. It's only December, but what is wrong with the Cleveland Cavaliers?
I'm not sure. I know they have some talented players. Maybe Donovan Mitchell needs to shoot more. I don't know.
I think you're right. You're right. All right, let's move on. Next question, number 2. For you, what's the perfect amount of time for a power nap?
Oh gosh.
Are you a napper?
I'm not. I might be a fall asleep early guy on the couch or something like that, but my wife doesn't allow that to happen. So, yeah, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, maybe get your juice back a little bit.
Okay. All right. And question number 3. I thought this is a good one for a coach of any sport outside. What's the worst weather event you ever experienced in your lifetime?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I think it might have been the 2015 Stag Bowl down in Salem, Virginia.
Okay.
We had different weather down there for many years, but that day was considerably windy, very cold. The other one, I wasn't a part of it. I was coaching at Wheaton at the time, but the 2009 Stag Bowl, when it got snow delayed, and they had to push the kickoff back down in Salem.
That's right. Yeah. Salem was always good for snow, 40-mile-an-hour winds, cold rain, sunshine, but it was like 30. You never knew what you were going to get down there.
Never. No.
You always had to be prepared. Well, Coach, we appreciate the time as always. You know that. Best of luck. Have a great practice today. Get after them, and we'll see you over at the Ball Yard on Saturday.
All right. Thanks. Go Raiders.
Go Raiders. There he goes. Geoff Dartt, head football coach of the University of Mount Union. They will tangle with John Carroll Saturday. Kickoff at 12:02 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you can't make it to Kara Stadium, we hope you can. But if you can't, we got you covered right here on AM 1310 WD.